Bars is back. Sam and oh God, what's up with?
Attention all my business owners, if you would like to advertise your business right before each video that we do here on Hip Hop News Uncensored, make sure you email us right now, advertise@hiphopun.com, advertise@hiphopun.com, ask about our holiday specials.
Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe.
First one that we're going to talk about, do side chicks and dudes save marriages? Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because, not now, but at a point in time, I had a side chick, a couple of them, you know what I mean? And you should only really be talking about something you can relate to. If you ain't had a side chick, you can't relate. But I've had one. I'll let you speak if you had one or not. I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I had fucking multiple.
You know what I mean? But do you think, though, is that a real thing? Do side chicks and dudes save marriages? In some cases, not all cases. In some cases.
Well, let's just keep this 1,000, right? A marriage is nothing more than a business partnership. You know what I mean? When you sign that dotted line and you get married, like financially you're tied together. You know what I mean? From a household perspective, from a credit perspective, you guys are tied at the hip. This is a business relationship, right? And we all know throughout time, people change, things change, circumstances change as people evolve. So it is only natural for your feelings to evolve if you're not really honed in on evolving together in those feelings. And we know through the hustles and bustles of life, daily routine of life, that kind of situation can be neglected. So when there's a void that needs to be filled, right? As long as the partnership is going good, the relationship from that business perspective, the kids are good, everybody's good, but that void is missing. If you're not going to work at filling that void together, then you're dumb as hell to assume that void is not going to be filled by somebody else, whether you're a male or female.
But women ain't going to want to hear that. Women are not going to want to hear
it's truth.
That. They're going to say, nigga, you better be faithful. I don't care what's going on. You better be faithful. And dudes are probably going to say the same thing.
Then, baby, you better evolve. And, nigga, you better evolve. Because if you think somebody still doesn't feel that void, we were talking about it yesterday, man. I don't think it was any type of love like that high school love.
Yeah.
When we really just like that, it was genuine. Nothing else mattered. Y'all would talk on the phone and that'd be everything. Y'all write a letter and a note. I know we aging ourselves and that'd be everything, right? When you get into the real world, you get into life, sometimes things don't feel the same.
Right.
When you deal with hurt and when you deal with loss and sometimes you deal with divorce or you deal with somebody cheating or you cheat, whatever the case, that strips down some of that level of love that you once had when you were younger. Mm-hmm. So miss me with all that shit sometimes. If you ain't working at it, somebody's going to fill a void. There's a sexual void that needs to be filled. If you, men, let's just keep it 1,000. We like to fuck more than women do. It's from a marriage perspective, because it's women out there that
I don't know about nowadays, man. They getting numbers out there now. Some of these chicks.
You think from a marriage perspective it changes when you get married, though? When you've been with a person for a long time, it's not, I'm not saying it's impossible, because it's not impossible to keep the spice by any stretch of the imagination, right? But it does take work.
Yeah.
And if you ain't working at it, the shit gets stale real quick.
That's the best point. Yeah, I think I was actually getting ready to expound more on that. If you're not, see, relationship is more like a relationship that you're going to have with your homie is going to be a little bit different than with your wife. Because if you and your homie are going to be good regardless. Y'all don't see each other every day. Y'all talk when y'all talk. The love is always there.
Word. But
your woman, it's a totally different ball game, because it's like, you met her, she's 150, now she went to 250, or even you. You was, six packed out, hitting the gym every day. Now you got the dad bod, stomach and all that good shit, and it's like
curls ain't hitting the same no more.
Right. You're getting older now.
Word.
You I think naturally, if you don't work on something like you said, you tend to drift away. You got this woman at a job with maybe a dude in there that, he may have all the same qualifications as you or whatever the case may be, but, they vibing. Y'all ain't talking like that no more. You ain't working on a relationship, so you go home. It's the norm every night. You go do what you do, boom, boom, boom. But this dude's in her ear. He got her ear. Same thing with a dude.
Yep.
You see his chick at the job, she got the twitch, she got the ass, she got the titties, You know, she talking to you. You know, y'all vibing on different shit. Y'all going to lunch together. Y'all just vibing.
Shit's fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh. And, you know, you going home to this. Not that you don't love your woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want to get into the topic a little bit deeper. Because it's like, for me, it's kind of like the deception of the whole thing is like, okay, it's good at home. But when I'm not home, I'm having my fun too. I'm not saying that it's going on now. I'm just saying, in the past, it was like, it's almost like, you know, the child knowing he ain't supposed to do something he ain't supposed to be doing,
Mm-hmm.
but he can have his cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like with, you know, when you and that's why I put the topic out here. Do side chicks save it? Because at the end of the day, if I got to keep going home and dealing with this, I'm probably gonna end up leaving. But as long as I get to do my thing on the side, you know what I'm saying, and I keep this shit gonna be fresh here.
And it don't mean to bring disrespect to anybody's household.
Right.
We're not saying that. You're not trying to put smut on anybody's household name. You're not trying to go out there and have your body count increased by 10. You know what I mean? To do anything wild and reckless to bring smut or disrespect to your home.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to keep your wife protected and things like that. Nobody's saying anything reckless. And I'm also, I'll take it a step further. If you ain't successful and take care of your business, if your bills ain't paid all the way, and your wife ain't good, your kids ain't straight, you better sit your ass down again and grind until it is, and then you go enjoy that cake. That cake don't need to be eaten until everybody else is fed first. That's just a man rule to me, man. Rule number one, you make sure the family's fed before you eat, right? So you eat in abundance, though. The man eat more than everybody else at the goddamn table, and it's for a reason. So if I wanted to exercise the pussy, I don't see what the problem is as long as everybody else in the family ate, and that's just my personal opinion.
Ooh, they're going to tear you up.
Not that I'm doing it, guys. Not that I'm doing it. But it's just the truth.
Now, what if a woman would say that? She said, I just need my extra dick on the side. Like, yeah, you know, you laying it down at the crib and whatnot. That's cool. But what if a woman is like, you know what? I want to have, you know, Tom, Dick, and Harry or Raheem or Tyrone, you know, every now and then.
You asking me?
Yeah.
All right. So if a woman is paying all the bills and bringing all the shit home, then that nigga need to really kind of check his perspective and go, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on with me? Maybe step my shit up a little bit.
Damn.
And I'm not saying that anybody deserves it, but you got to look at reality. Let's strip feelings out of this.
Yeah.
Let's strip feelings out of this, because if there's a void that needs to be filled, whether you're a man or a woman, you are going to seek that fulfillment. You are going to get it filled by hook or by crook, whether it is deemed in this society right or wrong. Damn all that when that void needs to be filled. And if you're a woman and you're out here busting your ass at work, taking care of the bills, don't nobody, I don't care how much money you got, like seeing that mail with the fucking electric bill coming through and the credit cards bill coming through and the car note, and you paying 2 car notes, you paying the insurance, you paying this, and then, okay, the nigga may cook for you, cool, and do all this, but then you taking 3 or 4 minutes of dick at the crib and you ain't even getting that?
Well, remember Gabrielle Union said that. She said she felt entitled to cheat because she was holding all the bills down. Remember
She
that?
thinks she a man anyway.
Yeah.
That's totally different. But I feel it. She thinks she the man any fucking way.
Right, she wear the pants, huh?
You know what I'm saying? And the drawers. So he wears pantyhose.
I mean, I think that, man, it's just, with relationships, you got to just work, you know, on them. And it's always, and the crazy part about this is the woman usually, and I ain't talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm kind of talking about marriage more so. The woman, you know, leads more than the man. Because I think the man gets to a point where he's, you know, content. I think the woman is, in my opinion, I think the woman's always looking for something better.
Yeah.
Now, all the time, there's always exceptions to the rule. So if you're listening to this, it might not be you. But I think for a large majority of people, that's always kind of been my experience. Because, like, they got a piece of shit nigga at home. They with him maybe because of the kids or whatever. So they checking out options out there. You know what I mean? Some bitches is even dating. You know, when they got men at home, and, you know, it's just the reality of the situation. And then we got to talk about the number of people that cheat. How men, and they say women cheat more than men now. And, you know, obviously unfulfilled needs and whatnot. But what about the people that say that's selfish? Because if you got an unfulfilled need, talk to your partner about that unfulfilled need instead of cheating and going outside the marriage or going outside the household to get that need filled. Why don't you talk to me about filling that need first?
Right. And agreed. And most times when people say that, they have been talked to. They just weren't listening to the conversation. Conversations were trying to be had. Communication was trying to be, you know what I mean, established before people run out. I don't think men just automatically, not good men. Right. I don't think good men automatically go run and try to chase something without trying to take care of theirs first, because ultimately they love what's theirs. And if they didn't love them, they wouldn't even care to have this conversation to try to make something change. I think conversations are had sometimes on both sides of the equation. But if people are ignoring them or if they're in their rut, we don't never know. Like we it's crazy because you can have a spouse, right, for 10, 12 years, and you honestly don't ever really know what they're thinking. And you can honestly look at they can look at you and say, damn, I really don't know what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? So until we kind of establish that communication, we don't know what's going on in each other's hand. We done been living together, going through the same routine, and we know each other's routine. We know how we gonna get into bed. We know what we're gonna eat in the morning, but we don't know what we thinking.
Right.
So you don't know what somebody's going through to make them feel like they neglecting you when they ultimately neglecting themselves. So yes, that communication needs to happen. But unfortunately, when you do feel neglected, this has been since childhood, you go and you seek that void. And I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go out there and cheat on your spouse. I'm not saying go out there and cheat on your mate. Whether you're a male or female or man or woman. I'm not saying go out there and do that. But unfortunately, this shit does go down. It does happen. And I want to say something about women real quick, because we said that when they don't feel needed and they don't feel nourished, yeah, they go out and seek certain things. But when a woman does feel needed and does feel nourished, they'll allow shit to go on within their household and let shit slide because they're comfortable and they feel good in their situation. And maybe even male too, to a certain perspective. I can't count on that because I ain't never dealt with no shit like that. But women let shit go too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And understand. And I'm really curious. I would love to see different varieties of women come on here and give their perspective. Has your man ran off on you and did something? How was that established in your house? And why did you take him back? How did it help your relationship? I'm sure it was a little messy at first.
Yeah.
But you guys are still together. You know what I'm saying? How many people did we know as a child that had marriages for 50, 60, 70 years?
Yeah.
I mean, to tell me ain't nobody thought or looked at it.
It
They dealt with some shit.
Yeah.
So I would love to see their perspective as well.